I'm nervous. Okay, let me get my camera adjusted here just a scotch, little bit. There we go. Okay, so ironically enough, despite the nervousness, whatever it is, today's topic, or I guess this week's topic, is going to be on self confidence. Okay, so I thought this was a really ironically appropriate topic for this first broadcast. Hey, Colin, good to see you, brother. So, I don't want to jump. I don't want to spend too much time kind of just going a little crazy in tangents and things like that. I just want to jump right into self confidence, what it is, what it isn't. And I don't want to complicate this because complication is not what the lesson brings to the people, it's the mistake the people bring to the lesson. Okay? So I don't want to complicate this at all. Essentially, confidence, in my mind, is just simply knowing that you're capable of doing something, not having already done it. Okay? It is, if you've already done it, that's experience. That is not the same as confidence at all. They're very similar, but it's not the same. Confidence is really just the belief in yourself and your abilities to handle whatever the situation is, to be able to go talk to this person, go to this job interview, go talk to that really sexy person at the end of the bar there and get their phone number, right? Meet a stranger. Confidence is simply really just your belief in yourself to be able to handle whatever the situation is, or accomplish the goal or the task, whatever. Experience is you've done it before, you know what happens. Maybe you failed last time and you know how it failed, you know how it feels, and now you're confident in trying that in a different way, right? That's how the two kind of dualities come together, but they're separate. They're not the same thing. So I don't want to keep repeating that. The most important thing about being confident is recognizing that it's gonna fall apart. It's not gonna work always. You're not always gonna get what you want, and things are just going to fail, right? That doesn't mean that you are a failure as a person. That means that whatever you tried to do perhaps failed, or the way that you tried to do it failed. But as long as you readjust, you restart, you reset, you refocus, you do whatever it takes to succeed, and that you never ever stop. You give up, right? That's the point. You give yourself permission to fail, because when you fail, you learn. When you succeed, you learn. It doesn't matter that you fail. Everybody is going to fail. You know what? This broadcast today is probably not going to be the best broadcast that you see, and I'm okay with that. I have the confidence to be okay with that because, well, I know that I'm capable of doing this, right? I mean, this is my first time doing a live broadcast. I'm really nervous, but I mean, what can you do? You got to start somewhere. Which, I don't know, it kind of segues me into the next point. You can't be afraid to fail, like at all. You have to be okay with failure. You have to be okay with succeeding. You have to be okay with maybe it doesn't go the way that you had planned originally, but it still worked out. And the thing that most people don't talk about is you have to be okay with it succeeding, even if you don't know that you can handle it. That's a big one, I think, and a lot of people don't talk about it, because you hear all the time that the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of judgment from others. You hear about this all the time, but so rarely do you ever hear about the fear of succeeding, and that maybe you can't handle it, or someone's going to maybe look at you like you're a fraud, that maybe you really don't know what you're talking about with it, maybe. And That's okay if somebody judges you like that, because there's going to be someone else that doesn't feel that way. And you putting yourself out there, you help that other person who does appreciate what you just did. Like I hope happens with this, obviously. Um, but you're gonna run into people that don't like it. It's gonna happen, but don't let that be your excuse to not try. Don't let the fear of someone saying you aren't good enough, don't let that derail you from doing the best that you can do with it, right? Um, that just trying to put it together in a good phrasing. You should just dare to be wrong. One of my favorite quotes is by Picasso. Get it right in my head. I got so many quotes. Get it right in my head. Picasso. He once said that all children are born artists. The trick is to remain an artist as you grow up. Everybody has creativity, and the world conditions you now it stigmatizes mistakes, and it tells you that you can't be wrong. If you're wrong, you failed, and that's not true, but that's what the world tells us, and it conditions us. Like, that's our mindset that we get from the world, is that if we stumble, we failed. If we don't get it together, we failed. Hey, from Facebook, we don't see your name, but hey. Yes, Colin. Yeah, don't be a goldfish on a skateboard, man. Be the best swimmer you got. Don't worry about being on a skateboard. Um, yeah. So I guess a lot of so there's a lot of people, myself included, and this is kind of a reason why I've waited till now to start doing these broadcasts. I have personally let the idea, the myth of perfection, the concept of perfection, excuse my inaction, right? To be my excuse for why I don't do this next thing, or I don't do that thing. For a long time, I wouldn't get on video because I'm like, okay, well, people wouldn't like my voice. I don't like my voice. People are not going to like my voice. They're going to look at me. They're going to laugh at me. And so many things hey, Cecilia, welcome. So many things I have in my life, and I'm sure it's true for you too, or many others. There's so many times that I've decided that I can't do something before I've even tried, or I've decided that I don't want to start doing that yet because it's not the right time. It's not the perfect time. I don't have the right job, right? I don't have the right qualifications. I don't have the right degree. I don't have the right clothes. I don't have the right car. I don't have the right technology, the right camera, the right computer, whatever. I don't have the right message, whatever it is, right? For years, I have put together so much just pages and books of content together, but I've been terrified to step in and do something about them, while at the same time saying that I'm not scared and saying I'm just waiting for the right time. I'm waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity. And I'm man enough, at least now in my life, to admit that I was scared. I was scared of people judging me. I was scared of people saying that the message wasn't good. The message was kind of a joke. I wasn't a good storyteller. I didn't have a good voice. Whatever, right? The point is, man, okay, look at it this way. There's always going to be somebody to judge you. Always. There's always going to be somebody out there that says that they don't like you, that they don't like your message, they don't like your voice, they think you're a joke. There's always going to be negative reviews. Think about a great example. Think about the best actor or actress that you know. Like the best, for me, it would be Sean Connery. Nobody stands beside Sean. Maybe nobody stands beside Sean Connery in my book. Nobody. But if I were to go online, I could, within 10 minutes, I could probably find you hundreds of people that want to talk smack about Sean Connery because they don't like him. He doesn't resonate with them, right? And that's okay. He was still a massive success in his field. Still, regardless of how many people didn't like him or loved him, it didn't matter, right? He did it for the love of what he did, and he just went with it. He had the confidence, and he just built it over the years and just did it. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You don't let the fear of someone else's judgment, the fear of somebody putting you down or saying that they don't like you, excuse your inaction of trying it. Don't let the fear of failing say that you can't do it, right? I had no idea that I would be any good at writing anything. I always loved writing when I was a kid, and I was told by adults when I was a kid, don't do that. You'll never be a writer. Don't, put the guitar down. You're never going to be a musician. Don't you play with that basketball. You're not going to be a basketball player. You conform to this over here. You be this. Go do this. This is how you're going to find success in life. And I bought into it all my life, right? And I'm sure so many other people did the same thing too. All I'm saying is what other people think about you shouldn't matter. I know it's easy to say that, but it genuinely doesn't. Because people are going to judge you. The ones that don't like you are going to judge you. The ones that love you are not going to judge you. They're going to defend you. They're going to be there from day one, right? What we do should show support and gratitude towards those that do support us. And we should let go of the ones that don't really support us because those people are just going to bring you down anyway. I don't want to talk ill of them. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing on anybody. Sometimes it's not that person's fault that they have a limiting belief. That's what they grew up with. Okay. Exactly. We should not let people's fears bring you down because they're afraid of what you're doing, right? They're not the ones doing it. You are. Don't let their fear pollute your potential, basically. Yeah, I don't want to go too much into that tangent. I'm going to end up just repeating myself over and over and over again. So, okay, let me dial it back to the point of this whole live stream here. And I'm sorry for kind of derailing a little bit. It's my first time, right? Hope you can give me a little bit of grace. There's some people out there that probably do it better than me, but they've probably been doing it for a lot longer too. So let's dive back to what self-confidence is. Self-confidence is, again, it's just the belief in your ability to do something. That's all it is. It's not complicated. I don't want to complicate this. The enemy of this is fear, basically. It's non-specific fear. So whatever you're not confident in, there's a specific fear for that. Say you don't like being around people. Maybe you've got social phobias, right? Like you don't, you're I don't want to say antisocial, but you have social anxiety, essentially. And I've lived with that too. Thanks, Colin. I appreciate you, buddy. Having social phobia, social anxiety, anything with social, that really stems down to your fear of judgment, right? And please don't misunderstand me. Please don't think that I'm attacking or accusing, but it is my belief that social anxiety, having been someone that has suffered with it in the past, stems almost from a place of ego. Because I was, again, I'm speaking for myself as a general thing for others potentially. But in my own experience, I found that when I got honest with myself, I found that I was always worried about if I said the wrong thing and people laughed, or if I tripped and people laughed at me, right? I was always worried about how it affected me. I was always concerned with how people thought and talked about me, right? It was always me, 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 under the guise of being afraid of social, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it was always like a self-ego trip for me, at least for me personally. It was a self-ego trip. I was always like, oh, I'm not cool enough to hang out with these guys. They're going to judge me. I'm not qualified enough to talk about this thing. People are going to judge me, right? I'm not qualified enough to go apply for that job, so I'm not going to try. People are going to judge me because I'm not qualified. It was always, again, it was about me. The only way that I broke the cycle is when I consciously made a consistent effort over a long period of time to say, it's not about me. It's about the people I'm hanging out with. My good friend Colin here in the channel, when I go hang out with him, I'm not worried about Colin judging me. I'm worried about spending time with Colin and how is Colin doing. I want to spend time with Colin, okay? Has nothing to do with me. And when I got past the me, the ego of self-doubt, and I'm not saying that people are a bad thing. Please don't think I'm judging anybody, right? I'm not. I still struggle with it. I've been doing this for years, and there's times. Oh, man, there's times. Let me tell you. But at the end of the day, it was always when I climbed off my own pedestal of pity and I got the focus off of me, then I was able to engage meaningfully in deep ways with other people. I'm not talking about like romantic. I'm talking about meaningful ways with a friend, with a work colleague, with whatever, right? I got off my own high horse and just engaged. It didn't matter if somebody didn't like me, because you know what? All they were doing was saving me time. If somebody laughed at me because I did something, like, hey, you know what? I appreciate you. You saved me time. I didn't have to waste 3 months of my life trying to prove myself to you, and then it never would have worked out anyway. You went ahead and cut it to the chase, and we're done. Like, we already go ahead and cut the rope. I don't have to have emotional involvement. I appreciate you cutting me off. I don't have to build up emotional involvement and have heartbreak, in 3 6 months, a year from now. I don't have to let go of a 10-year friendship because this guy was a jackass and I really didn't see it in time, right? Or he's been a jackass the whole time. He was selfish and I was always trying to hang out with him, and I never really paid attention to how it was always him, and there was never us hanging out. It was always him and me entertaining him. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I started to get a little bit more self-aware, I had to let go of a 10-year friendship because it was toxic and unhealthy for me, and I had to make that choice. And you better believe that was hard. You better believe that was hard. That guy was a brother to me. I thought, right? But he wasn't. He wasn't. And that's, it happens. So when someone comes along and they don't approve of you right away, hey, Lucia, thank you for joining. Man, I appreciate all of y'all. 15 viewers, that is amazing. I appreciate you guys. And I'm trying to do the best I can for you. Give me some good content, okay? But yeah, sometimes we got to get rid of those toxic people in our lives. Thank you, Lucia. And part of the HAPS team. And shout out to the HAPS team, by the way. I know that this is like a beta program, but because it says beta in the upper left corner, that means this program has a huge way to grow, a lot of potential, and a lot of great things to come. So if you got a second and you can, anytime you're on HAPS, do a little shout out. Give the HAPS team a little bit of love. These guys are pouring into it. They have a free platform to be able to do cool stuff like this. Hint, hint, wink, wink. I kind of wish you guys had a way to shoot this into LinkedIn, because I got about 5, 6, 7,000 people on LinkedIn that I could stream this to, but I can't because the settings aren't there. But whatever. It's a beta. We got plenty of room for growth. It's a freaking awesome program. Yeah, absolutely. And hey, Dementi Kendall, thank you for joining, man. Hi from the Gold Coast, man. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all of y'all showing up. This is great. So yeah, anyway, let me dive into the next point. I kind of beat the other one to death a little bit. So the big rock, the big ticket item that I wanted to point out to you on the path of self-confidence is that, yeah, oh, thank you, Lucia. Oh, I'm excited to see it come in. Okay, so the one of the biggest rocks I want to talk about was the difference between nervousness and excitement. Okay, physically speaking, our physicality and our bodies, nervousness and excitement are exactly the same thing, right? It's just a different mental framework for each one. Your body, like your breathing becomes a little bit more increased. Your blood starts to pump a little bit more. You start to sweat. Your body's moving a little bit more, right? You become more acutely aware of things around you. You're paying better attention to the details. It's no different from nervousness to excitement. There's butterflies in the stomach. Your heart's going. Your blood pressure is raised up. You're shaking. It's exactly the same thing physically. There is no difference. There's no difference at all. So when you're nervous, try to recognize the mental pattern that you've got going on and see if you can identify where you're maybe looking for something to not work, where you're looking for something to say, okay, what if it doesn't happen for me? What if this isn't as good as I thought it would be? Okay, so that's nervous. You're coming at it as a what if it fails mentality. What if it doesn't work mentality? What if I'm not good enough mentality? That's nervousness. Excitement, same physical response, different mentality. Oh man, I can't freaking wait until I can do this. This is going to be great. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to have so much fun. I'm going to do this. It's going to be amazing. I can't freaking wait. There's no difference. The only difference is up here. How you manage this determines that. And then here's the real kicker in the teeth that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Depending on which of these two paths you take determines how other people will respond to you. And when you get that response, that feedback from other people, it feeds into what's going on and it intensifies either one of these two, right? It's kind of like having two wolves. One's evil and one's good. And it's just a matter of which one are you going to feed a little bit more, right? It basically just comes down to that. Which one are you going to decide to go down? You're going to be nervous. You're going to be a nervous wreck, and people are not going to want to come talk to you and approach you because they see you're nervous, and that damages potential relationships and business dealings or personal friendships, anything, right? It damages that because they're like he's a little bit nervous. I don't want to go around him. I don't want to go around her. I don't want to make her uncomfortable. As a big guy, I see that a lot. Like if I see a woman that's nervous, I back up. Like I'm like, okay, I don't want to be a cause for her to be more uncomfortable than what she is, because I'm 6'7". I'm a big guy, right? I don't want to be a cause for this girl to be more nervous. Like, hell, I don't know what she's gonna do. I don't know if she'll call the cops. Like, and I didn't do anything, right? She's just nervous, so I'm not even gonna approach her. And that probably damaged maybe, say, a romantic relationship. Maybe you don't know. You don't know how it would have worked out. But had she been excited, and I was in the place, and I'm looking to talk with somebody and meet somebody new, and I see this girl across the way, and she's excited. You know what? I don't even know what she's excited about. I want to join the party. I want to be excited too. So I'm going to go approach her. Hey, how are you? My name's John. It's nice to meet you. Can I get you a drink? Can I get whatever? Right? It's a different beginning. That's the point. And it all came down to she had the same physical response. There was no difference. It came down to she chose to either be nervous or she chose to be excited. And the nervous, she got to meet somebody new. It's the same thing. Like, when I'm nervous, I don't get to meet new people in public, right? So I try not to be nervous. So I got a little checklist of 5 things. Got a checklist here of 5 things to help improve, little practices to help improve on self-confidence when you're interacting with other people, okay? Number 1, and the most important thing, well, one of the most important things, is compliment another person. Genuinely just compliment them. We all like someone that says, hey, you know what, you look good today. You know, hey, you trying something new? Did something happen? Because I don't know, something about you. You know, you smell nice today. You know, I like that shirt you're wearing. Whatever, right? It feels good to have someone compliment you like that. And let me tell you, it feels just as good to compliment somebody else genuinely, right? Not to just kind of be facetious, say, oh, you know, that looks good. Haha, yeah, thanks. You too. And it's over. That's not real interaction, right? When you're at the grocery store and you're checking out your groceries and the lady or the guy is dinging the little things across the beeper and getting them checked in, you go, you know what? I appreciate you. You know, or hey, you know what? I like your hair. I like what you did with your hair today. I like it. You know, just a compliment, a genuine compliment. You'll improve their day, and then it's contagious. It kind of rubs off on you. It's great. You smell great. Did you shower? It's like that joke that Colin distracted me as always. I love it. It's like that joke the guy says, I surveyed 10 women. I surveyed 100 women. What kind of brand of shampoo did they like? The number 1 answer was, how did you get in my bathroom, you weirdo? Anyway, Colin and distracted me. Anyway, don't worry. Here's the next point. Don't worry so much, at least, try not to, about the judgment of others. Okay? It is a fact of life. People are going to judge you. No matter what you do, whether you do it or you do not do it, people are going to judge you. They're going to say, when you do it, they're going to say, oh, I would have done it better. This person didn't. She didn't know what the hell she was doing. Why even bother? Right? Anybody could do better than that. Right? They're going to say that if you try. But if you don't try, they're going to say, oh, this guy, he's a washout. You can't rely on him. He doesn't ever do anything. Right? Don't even look at him. He's too scared to do anything. You're damned if you do or damned if you don't, right? So why not just go ahead? You know, embrace the fear, see the nervousness for what it is, choose to be excited about it instead, and just do it. Do it badly, do it rough, do it upside down. You know, mess it up, do it again. Whatever it takes. Exactly. It's never enough. Enough is never enough. And don't wait like I did for so many years for things to be perfect. Perfect is an illusion. Let me tell you this. The only place that perfect exists is in the freaking dictionary. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. It does not exist. It's a word, and that's it. There's really no substance to the word perfect, right? We'll use this broadcast today. This is my first solo broadcast ever on any platform ever. This is my first. Okay. So I can come in and I could be worried about this broadcast being perfect. Or I can just accept the fact that it doesn't matter, that this broadcast is never going to be perfect. I can do this for the next 20 years, every freaking day, and master this, and it would still not be perfect. I would still find ways to be better. Someone else could point out a way and I could still improve it, right? Perfect does not exist. Just stop it, right? Coming from a guy that spent most of my life parked on the side of the road waiting for the perfect time to get into the traffic, Just stop it and drive the car, right? It's never going to happen. Just go. Just drive the car, move forward, and learn as you do it. Fail if that's what it takes. Wreck the car. It's better than sitting on the side of the road waiting. Okay, so that segues into the third point on the list. Dare to be wrong, right? I'm trying to think of a really good way to word this. If you're afraid to be wrong, you will never come up with anything original, ever. If you're afraid to be wrong. That's what art is. Being artistic, creating Haps. The team that created Haps, they stepped out into a world that has how many platforms that you could do. Being up against Facebook alone and YouTube, being up against YouTube that does the same service. You think the people at Haps didn't have the cojones? Are you kidding me? These guys are amazing. Like I look up, I've never even met these guys, and I already look up to them because of what I see them doing. I see the results of their labor. It may not be perfect. It still says beta in the corner, but damn it, they've still dared to be here. And we're all here enjoying it because of how they were like, you know what, we're just gonna try it. If it fails, we'll do it better. If it messes up, I learned why it didn't work and I'll do it better. Dare to be wrong, right? It'll change your life. It will. I promise you, it's changed my life so many times over and over again. Don't be afraid to be wrong. I was scared to death when I wrote my book. Colin was nice enough. He put up bless him. He put up a cover of my book. And when I wrote the book, I was terrified every day, terrified for months when I wrote that book. Every time I sat down to write a page, I was scared to death. You have any idea how many pages I wrote and deleted because I was scared? But I did it. I dared to be wrong, and I put it out there. And I've had some of the best, most beautiful feedback about that book and how it's helped someone else. I had a guy that was in the military contact me and say that he's been working with his psychologist about his PTSD from the military. And when he got through my book, he went through it once thinking, oh, it's just a book. And then when he got to the end, he's like, you know what? No, there's something here. There's something else. So he went through it again and again and again. And by the end of it, he's like, man, it's helped me so much with my own PTSD issues. Because I've had PTSD. I still struggle sometimes. And I put my struggle in the book and the tools that I use to overcome it. Right? It's not just a story that I told. I put the tools and how I put the tools in place and what I did to overcome PTSD, anxiety, depression, all these things. I put it in the book. You have to go check it out if you wish. I'm genuinely not trying to make a plug to sell it to make money. I think, if full disclosure, I think since I published the book in like mid or late 2015, like 5 years ago, I think I've made like $150 on the book, right? I'm not out there to make a profit on the book. I'm just not. The book helps people, and that's enough. Okay. Yeah. So again, another example of I was terrified to put myself out there, and I freaking put my own story and my own history of childhood abuse and rape and beatings into a book and put that in the world's hands to see, right? You can't tell me that's not a scary proposition, right? When you put the ugliest things, the things that were the worst parts of your life on a page and hand it to somebody else and say, here, I hope you like it. That's what I mean by dare to be wrong. Dare, make it okay to fail. Make it okay for somebody to judge you. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Fourth point, and I'm almost done, I promise. Fourth point, help someone else every day. Help a person every day. And don't do it for the reward. Damn the reward. Don't even brag about it later. Don't take pictures of it. Don't even talk about it after the fact. Just help someone, right? Doesn't matter what it is. It could be small. Maybe all you did was hold a door for a little old lady with a walker that was struggling to get into a building. Whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Help somebody else. Just every day, pick somebody, one person at least, and help somebody, right? Even something small, big or small, whatever it is, and don't take a reward for it. Don't take praise from other people for it. Don't take anything. Do it just for the simple act of helping another person, right? Makes you feel good. That's the reward. That's it. Just do that. Anyway, okay, so point 5, and possibly one of the biggest milestone rocks to deal with, is to get rid of the energy draining people in your life. And you'll be able to identify these people as soon as you start doing all the rest of these steps and you start making yourself better. The energy drainers are the people that will be resentful that you're making these changes. They're the ones that complain and say, oh, you've changed. Oh, you're not the same person, blah, blah, blah. That's how you identify the energy drainers. And the hardest part of that is going to be that sometimes that means it's family. Sometimes it's blood. Sometimes it's, the friend that you had for 10 years that you didn't think anything about. You thought they were really your friend. And sometimes you got to let them go. And then when you let them go and you stand up for your own boundaries, you set your own boundaries, and they hate you for it or they're resentful of you for it, they come back later and they call you negative names. They slander you. They try to say that you're a bad person because you did blah, blah, blah to them, or you treated them blah, blah, blah way. And all you were trying to do is look out for your best interest and make yourself more confident, make yourself happier. That's all you were doing. You weren't bagging on anybody. That's the energy drainers. You got to get them out of your life. It's very, very true. If you hang around with 9 negative, broke, do nothing, I was just saying people, you about to be the 10th. That's fact. If you want to improve your situation in life, surround yourself by those of a different scenario. I'm not going to say better, but a different situation. Maybe a situation that you feel is more ideal for you, whatever that is, right? Surround yourself with those people, even if it's just one other person. It doesn't have to be 10 people. If you find one friend that's in that field that's successful, and you're like, you know what, I want to work in that. I want to be in radio. Go to one of the local radio things that the events that they hold, like at a dealership or whatever. Meet somebody that works at the radio station and make friends with them. Build a relationship with them. Surround yourself in that element. And then watch what happens. Before too long, you'll be in that element where you wanted to be. That's how you build self-confidence, is being successful, doing things, believing in yourself, believing in your ability, stepping out, trying new things, complimenting other people, doing something nice, helping somebody else for no reward, nothing. You don't want a reward. You just want to help somebody. That's it. When you're not afraid to be wrong, you come up with the most beautiful, creative things. And then once you do, someone's going to come along and say, that was amazing. I love that you did that. It really spoke to me. And then that's going to build you up even more, right? You throw away the stuff that people say negative. You just don't even pay attention to it. It doesn't matter, right? And you pay attention to the stuff that supports you and edifies you and builds you up. You pay attention to that. Dare to be wrong. Compliment other people. Let's see. Help somebody else out every day. Help someone, one person. Get rid of the energy drainers and believe in yourself and accept that nervousness is the exact same thing as excitement. It's just a different mindset. Yeah, believe in yourself and just go with it. Try it. Stop waiting for perfect and just do what you can with what you got, with where you have. And don't ever be satisfied, because it's never, ever, ever going to be enough. Just like Lucia said, it's never enough. So thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate all you guys. I genuinely do. I'm not just saying it. Yeah, thank you so much. It's my first broadcast, so I'm looking forward to more. I have about 100 topics. It's my personal challenge. 100 topics once a week for the next 100 weeks. Hopefully, things will get better. Things will improve, and I'll get better at it. Maybe you'll like the messages. Maybe you won't. But I'm going to do what I can. So thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast. I appreciate everybody that showed up. Cheers.